Your soulmate is happier than ever. Because you finally did this. My dear friend, there comes a moment in every person's life when something shifts deep within the soul. It is not always loud. It is not always dramatic. Sometimes it happens quietly, like the first light of dawn touching the horizon after a long night. Yet that single moment changes everything. Today, this message is about that moment. It is about the choice you finally made, the burden you finally released, and the reason your soulmate is happier than ever because of it. For a long time, you carried worries that no one else could see. You smiled when others expected you to smile. You continued moving forward even when your heart felt exhausted. There were nights when you questioned whether anyone truly understood your struggles. There were moments when you wondered if the love you dreamed of would ever arrive. Yet through it all, your soul continued growing. What you may not realize is that every challenge you faced was preparing you for something greater. Every disappointment taught you wisdom. Every setback strengthened your spirit. Every tear watered the seeds of a future that was still hidden from your eyes. Your soulmate, wherever they are right now, is connected to you in ways that go beyond ordinary understanding. Before two hearts can unite in a meaningful way, both souls must learn important lessons. Sometimes those lessons involve patience. Sometimes they involve forgiveness. Sometimes they involve learning to love yourself before expecting someone else to fill the empty spaces within you. And that is exactly what changed. You finally stopped chasing people who could not appreciate your worth. You finally stopped begging for attention from those who offered only temporary affection. You finally stopped measuring your value through the opinions of others. You finally remembered who you truly are. The moment you began honoring yourself, something powerful happened in the spiritual world. The energy around your life shifted. Old patterns started breaking apart. New possibilities began appearing. Your soulmate can feel this change. Even if they have never met you, even if they live far away, even if circumstances have not yet brought you together, there is a connection forming beneath the surface of everyday life. For years, your soulmate may have been searching for answers too. They may have experienced heartbreak. They may have faced disappointments that made them question whether true love was real. They may have wondered if the person meant for them even existed. Yet every lesson they experienced was leading them toward you. And every lesson you experienced was leading you toward them. The universe has a remarkable way of aligning two people when the timing is right. Not before. Not after. At precisely the moment when both hearts are ready. What made your soulmate happier than ever was not something material. It was not money. It was not status. It was not external success. It was the fact that you finally chose healing over hurt. For so long, old wounds may have controlled your decisions. Fear may have whispered that you were not enough. Doubt may have convinced you that happiness belonged to other people but not to you. Yet recently, something inside you began changing. You started setting boundaries. You started protecting your peace. You started refusing to carry emotional burdens that were never yours to begin with. You began trusting yourself again. That decision sent a powerful signal throughout your life. The person destined to walk beside you can sense that signal. Your soulmate is happier than ever because the version of you they have been waiting for is finally emerging. The strongest relationships are not built upon neediness. They are built upon wholeness. When two people come together from a place of self-respect, their connection becomes stronger than any obstacle. Your soulmate does not need you to be perfect. They do not need you to have all the answers. They do not expect you to never make mistakes. They simply need you to be authentic. And authenticity begins when you stop pretending to be someone else. Perhaps you spent years trying to fit into expectations that never truly belonged to you. Maybe you changed yourself to please others. Maybe you sacrificed your happiness in hopes of earning love. But real love does not require you to abandon yourself. Real love celebrates who you already are. The day you realized this truth was the day everything started changing. Your soulmate is happier than ever because they can feel that your heart is becoming ready. Ready to receive. Ready to trust. Ready to love. Ready to be loved. Think about how much strength it took to reach this point. Every challenge you survived became evidence of your resilience. Every heartbreak became proof that your heart was still capable of loving despite disappointment. Every obstacle became a lesson preparing you for the future. You are not the same person you were a year ago. You are wiser, stronger, more aware, more aligned with your true purpose. And because of that growth, the path toward your soulmate is becoming clearer. Sometimes people imagine soulmates as magical figures who instantly solve every problem. But true soulmates do something even more valuable. They inspire growth. They encourage healing. They remind each other of their highest potential. They become partners in creating a meaningful life. Your soulmate is happier than ever because you finally took responsibility for your own healing journey. Instead of waiting for someone else to rescue you, you began rescuing yourself. Instead of searching endlessly for validation, you started discovering it within. Instead of focusing on what was missing, you began appreciating what was already present. That shift changed everything. The energy of gratitude attracts blessings. The energy of self-respect attracts healthy relationships. The energy of confidence attracts opportunities. And the energy of genuine love attracts soul-level connections. The universe responds to the energy you embody. When you were operating from fear, fear kept appearing. When you were operating from doubt, doubt kept appearing. But now you are stepping into a different reality. A reality where hope is stronger than fear. A reality where faith is stronger than uncertainty. A reality where love is stronger than loneliness. Your soulmate feels this transformation. Perhaps they cannot explain it. Perhaps they simply feel an unusual sense of peace. Perhaps they find themselves thinking about the future with renewed optimism. Perhaps they feel an unexpected excitement about what is coming next. What they are sensing is the invisible thread connecting your journeys. Two lives moving closer together. Two stories preparing to meet. Two hearts becoming ready for the chapter they were always meant to share. The greatest love stories are not created overnight. They are built through growth, patience, and divine timing. Every step you have taken has been part of that preparation. Every lesson has mattered. Every victory has mattered. Every moment of courage has mattered. And now, as you continue becoming the person you were always meant to be, your soulmate feels hope rising within them. Because whether they know your name yet or not, their spirit recognizes that something beautiful is approaching. The happiness they feel is not accidental. It is the joy of alignment. It is the joy of knowing that destiny is moving. It is the joy of sensing that love is drawing near. Most importantly, it is the joy that comes from witnessing your transformation. You finally chose yourself. You finally honored your worth. You finally believe that you deserve happiness. And because you finally did this, your soulmate is happier than ever. Because the person they have been waiting for is no longer hiding. The real you is finally shining. And that light is brighter than you realize. As your journey continues, there is something important you need to understand. The transformation taking place within you is not random. It did not happen by accident. Every experience, every challenge, every lesson has been guiding you toward this moment. For years, you may have focused on what was missing from your life. You may have looked at others and wondered why happiness seemed easier for them. You may have questioned why certain prayers appeared unanswered or why certain dreams seemed delayed. But what if those delays were actually preparations? What if the waiting period was never a punishment? What if it was protection? Many people rush into relationships before they are emotionally ready. They seek love to escape loneliness instead of sharing love from a place of wholeness. As a result, they often repeat the same painful patterns. You were being prepared for something deeper. You were being taught how to recognize genuine love. You were being shown the difference between temporary attraction and lasting connection. You were learning how to distinguish between someone who merely enters your life and someone who truly belongs in it. Your soulmate is happier than ever because you finally stopped settling for less than you deserve. There was a time when you accepted crumbs when you deserved a feast. You tolerated behavior that hurt your spirit. You ignored red flags because you hoped things would improve. You gave chances long after your heart had already been disappointed. But now something is different. You have learned that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is necessary. You have learned that saying no does not make you cruel. It makes you wise. You have learned that not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people are lessons. Some are blessings. And some are both. This wisdom has changed the way you approach relationships. Instead of desperately seeking approval, you now seek alignment. Instead of asking, "Will they choose me?" you ask, "Are we truly right for each other?" That single shift in perspective is powerful. It places your value back where it belongs. It reminds you that love is not about convincing someone to see your worth. Love is about finding someone who recognizes your worth naturally. Your soulmate is grateful that you learned this lesson. Because when the two of you finally meet, your connection will not be based on fear. It will be based on mutual respect. It will be based on honesty. It will be based on genuine understanding. Imagine two rivers flowing separately through different landscapes. Each river encounters rocks, obstacles, twists, and turns. Each river develops its own unique path. Yet eventually, those rivers merge into a single, powerful stream. That is what is happening now. Your life has followed one path. Your soulmate's life has followed another. Both journeys have included triumphs and struggles. Both journeys have required courage. Both journeys have involved growth. And now those paths are gradually moving toward one another. The universe often works quietly. Many of the most important changes happen beneath the surface long before they become visible. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It develops roots first. The roots remain hidden. No one sees them growing. Yet without those roots, the tree could never stand strong. The same principle applies to your love story. Right now, roots are being established. Foundations are being strengthened. Circumstances are being arranged. Opportunities are being created. The pieces are moving into place. Your soulmate feels a sense of anticipation because they can sense that their own life is changing too. Perhaps they have recently ended a chapter that no longer served them. Perhaps they have begun healing from old wounds. Perhaps they have started questioning what truly matters. Perhaps they are discovering strengths they never knew they possessed. Just as you are evolving, they are evolving as well. That is why divine timing is so important. True soul connections often require both individuals to reach certain milestones before their paths intersect. If you had met years ago, perhaps the relationship would not have worked. Not because the connection was wrong, but because the timing was incomplete. Growth needed to happen first. Wisdom needed to develop first. Healing needed to occur first. Now you are becoming the version of yourself that can fully appreciate the blessing when it arrives. Your soulmate is happier than ever because they know that when your paths finally cross, they will meet the real you. Not the fearful version. Not the insecure version. Not the version still trapped by old pain. They will meet the person who has learned how to stand confidently in their truth. The person who understands their value. The person who no longer hides their light. There is extraordinary beauty in that. Think about how many battles you have already won. You survived days you thought would break you. You overcame situations that seemed impossible. You carried burdens heavier than most people realized. Yet here you are. Still standing. Still growing. Still believing. That resilience is part of what makes you special. Your soulmate admires that strength, even if they have not consciously met you yet. At a soul level, there is recognition. At a spiritual level, there is understanding. At a deeper level, there is appreciation. Because every challenge you overcame has shaped the person you are becoming. And that person is remarkable. One of the greatest gifts you finally gave yourself was forgiveness. Not necessarily forgiveness for others alone, but forgiveness for yourself. You stopped punishing yourself for past mistakes. You stopped replaying old regrets. You stopped carrying guilt that no longer served any purpose. Instead, you chose compassion. You chose growth. You chose forward movement. This decision created space within your heart. Space where new joy can enter. Space where hope can flourish. Space where love can thrive. Your soulmate is happier than ever because they can feel that space opening. They can feel the walls coming down. They can feel the barriers dissolving. They can feel the possibility of a beautiful future becoming more real. The future has a remarkable way of rewarding those who refuse to give up. Every time you chose hope over despair, you moved closer. Every time you chose faith over fear, you moved closer. Every time you chose self-respect over self-doubt, you moved closer. And now the distance between you and the life you desire is shrinking. There may still be moments of uncertainty. There may still be days when patience feels difficult. But remember this. The best chapters often begin when people are tempted to quit. The greatest blessings often arrive after the longest seasons of waiting. The most meaningful connections often appear when hearts are finally prepared to receive them. Your soulmate is not celebrating because you became perfect. They are celebrating because you became authentic. Authenticity is magnetic. Authenticity creates trust. Authenticity allows real love to flourish. When you stop pretending to be someone else, you give the right people permission to find the real you. And the real you is exactly who your soulmate has been waiting for. As the days unfold, continue trusting the process. Continue honoring your growth. Continue choosing peace. Continue believing in possibilities greater than your current circumstances. The universe has not forgotten you. Your story is still unfolding. New opportunities are approaching. Unexpected blessings are forming. Beautiful connections are drawing nearer. Most importantly, your heart is becoming stronger, wiser, and more open than ever before. And somewhere, whether near or far, your soulmate feels that change. They feel hope. They feel excitement. They feel gratitude. Because the person destined to walk beside them is finally stepping fully into their light. And that light is guiding both of you toward the same destination. A destination filled with understanding. A destination filled with partnership. A destination filled with genuine love. The journey is not over. In many ways, it is only beginning. As you continue walking this path, there is a truth your heart is beginning to understand more clearly than ever before. Love was never running away from you. It was never hiding from you. It was never denying you. Instead, it was waiting for the perfect moment to enter your life. Many people spend years believing they must chase happiness. They run after relationships, opportunities, and dreams, hoping that something outside themselves will finally make them feel complete. Yet true fulfillment begins within. And this is what you finally did. You stopped searching for someone to complete you. You started becoming complete on your own. The moment this shift occurred, your entire energy changed. The fear of being alone began losing its power. The anxiety about the future began fading. The need for constant reassurance began disappearing. You started standing firmly in your own worth. You began trusting that what is meant for you will find its way to you. That confidence is beautiful. It is attractive. It is powerful. And your soulmate feels it. Whether they realize it consciously or not, they sense that something extraordinary is happening. Perhaps they have recently felt inspired to make positive changes in their own life. Perhaps they have started letting go of old fears. Perhaps they have begun opening their heart again after a difficult chapter. These changes are not coincidences. Two souls preparing to meet often experience growth simultaneously. While you are learning your lessons, they are learning theirs. While you are healing, they are healing. While you are becoming ready, they are becoming ready too. The universe often works in harmony. Even when two people live in different places and follow different routines, invisible threads connect their journeys. One day, when the timing is right, those threads bring them together. When that moment arrives, you may look back and realize that every delay served a purpose. Every disappointment protected you from something that was not meant for you. Every closed door redirected you toward a better path. Every lesson prepared you for a greater blessing. At the time, those experiences may have felt painful. But now you can begin seeing them differently. You can begin understanding that life was not working against you. Life was working for you. Your soulmate is happier than ever because you finally stopped carrying the weight of the past. For a long time, old memories may have followed you. Past mistakes. Past heartbreaks. Past regrets. You replayed conversations. You wondered what you could have done differently. You questioned choices that had already been made. But eventually you realized something important. The past cannot be changed. However, the future can be created. The energy spent reliving old pain can be redirected toward building new joy. The moment you embraced this truth, your spirit became lighter. You began moving forward instead of looking backward. You started focusing on possibilities instead of limitations. You started seeing opportunities instead of obstacles. This transformation matters. Because healthy love requires emotional freedom. It requires the ability to be present. It requires the courage to trust again. And now you are developing those qualities. You are becoming emotionally available for the kind of relationship you deserve. Your soulmate can feel that readiness. Imagine standing at the edge of a beautiful sunrise. The darkness has not disappeared instantly. It gradually gives way to light. Little by little, the horizon brightens. Colors begin appearing. Warmth begins spreading. Hope begins rising. That is exactly what is happening in your life right now.